What's up, guys? This is Clyde here again. I'm gonna show you the amp guts of the Audioque Aq3500D.1 rated at 4,300 watts RMS at 1 ohm. Okay, here we go. Okay, first of all, the cover. I just got this amp. When I came home, it was sitting on my porch from UPS, from Zackstad in Michigan, but I bought it from him from eBay. But anyways, you can see it had a big dent over here from that section to that. So you can see like kind of the mark where the dent was. I guess it must have been dent in shipping or something, because it kind of punctured the bottom of the box and it damaged that too. That is our bass remote knob. It cracked the circuit board of the bass remote knob. Yeah, the circuit board cracked because the housing, that top part right there, you see that? That caved in from the amp. I guess the amp must have pushed down onto that bass knob, the housing, and then the housing pushed into the circuit board of that bass knob, cracked it. But I kind of shaped it back together, and I used this fix-all adhesive super glue on the back, and it just made a kind of thick layer on the back of the circuit board where the solders are at. I just kind of glue it together, and hopefully it works. I just gotta try and see if it works. Put that on there and just let it dry and see if the bass knob works. If not, we're gonna have to order one from Audioque for $14. And then this was all mashed up, so I used some block wood there, and so that small little ball peen hammer, pounded back to shape. And luckily the internals wasn't damaged. The internals of this amp wasn't damaged. It's still good, still intact. I still have to put the cover back on and then hook it up to that that T-block right there with the single 0 gauge split out to dual 0 gauge. Gonna have to wire it to the air right here, because it takes dual positive, dual negative. So it's gonna do that. Remove that from the SOUNDSTREAM SL over there. Hook it up to the SHURIKEN battery over there, and then test it out and see if this powers up. Make sure this amp isn't burnt. If not, I'm gonna have to file an eBay dispute and get my money back, $516 back. But hopefully not, because this is the only amp I got. I just traded in my two Audio USX 45K V.1s to Chris Johnson at CARSTEREO headquarters to build my speaker box, and I had to pay an additional 200 something more on top of that. And I got total of 4 C2 Audio Threadcon 4s that I'm gonna be putting in the back of my car in the trunk. But anyways, back to the subject. He got off subject here. These amp guts for this Audioque 3500D.1. You got 8 gauge wires, look like, for this speaker ground and speaker output. Going to the other side there. Some people put big wires. They put like 4 gauge. You can even put 2 gauge or 0 gauge wires. They replace this with bigger wires, I guess, so you can run them at more, I guess, more voltage, higher voltage to the amp. I see some people do that with the Stetson amps and stuff. They put 0 gauge wires. Replace these wires with 0 gauge. That way they can run like 16 volt, 18 volt batteries to them. But anyway, back to subject. This is the amp guts. Blocking the light here. This is the amp guts here. Yep. Pretty big circuit board. I guess this is what you call a toroidal cores. Right there. All those windings of copper wire. And then the capacitors. So you got 8 capacitors there. two smaller ones there, and two small ones there, some tiny ones there, a lot of capacitors, and you got all of the knobs, the control knobs, bass, and all the frequency settings and all that stuff there. This thing takes an external fuse, but it says it takes about 380 amps. But the guy who I bought it from Michigan, he said he never ran fuses to this at all, because he said this thing puts out so much power to blow fuses. He just ran it straight without no fuse at all, and he ran this with two Kinetic KHC 2500s and a McMahon 250 amp alternator, and he ran three 12-inch Audioque HDC 4s off of this. But now he got a new setup. He's running four Crescendo BC 5500s and three 18-inch custom built subwoofers that he built himself. But anyways, I'm going off the subject again. I'm looking at this amp here, the Guts, amp Guts. The amp Guts of the Audioque Aq3500D.1, putting out 4300 watts RMS at 1 ohm, guys. Look at this monstrous amp. I was planning on getting another one of this from a guy in Las Vegas, Nevada, who is a car audio competitor. I guess he competes in car audio competitions and stuff. He had two of these. He sold one of them, and the last one he got left, I was gonna buy it from him for $400. I was right about to send him the PayPal. Send it to PayPal for $100, but backed out and changed my mind. I always can get another one later, because a lot of amps going around anyway. A lot of people selling amps. CarAudioClassifieds.org, SMD forums and stuff. So I could always find another one if I wanted to, and strap it together. Like Chris at CarStereo headquarters, Chris Johnson, he told me that if you strap it together, you have to run it minimum 2 ohms. No lower than 2 ohm load when you're strapping the amps together. So, yep. Because I guess it will be too low of an impedance and it'll burn out the amp. Yep. Because we were going to run it at half ohm, and then I was going to pick up another amp, and I guess it was going to strap it together, and the impedance is going to change to 2 ohms or whatever. But anyways, yeah, this is the amp Guts, guys. Sorry for going off the subject and talking about all kind of stuff, but yeah, this is the amp Guts of the Audioque Aq3500D. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that, baby. Look at that. Nice, juicy amp Guts. More guts, more power. Yep, guys. Yep. The more guts, the more power. Okay, guys. I guess that includes the amp Guts of the Audioque Aq3500D.1. Brought to you by none other than me, Clyde. What's up, amp Guts? Stay tuned for the next video, guys. I'm signing off.